Nitrous oxide, more commonly known as nitro or laughing gas, is a colorless gas that is commonly used for pain relief and sedation. The gas itself is about 1.5 times denser than air and is colorless, tasteless, and the smell is slightly sweet. Nitrous oxide is made from taking 2 nitrogen molecules and 1 oxygen molecule and putting them together. This makes the percent mass of the nitrogen about 64% and the percent mass of the oxygen about 36%. It can also be called dinitrogen oxide or dinitrogen monoxide, but its official IUPAC ID is nitrous oxide. It was discovered by a man by the name of Joseph Priestley in the year 1772. Its properties in anesthesia were first discovered by a dentist in 1844 by the name of Horace Wells, who demonstrated his discovery at the famous Harvard Medical School in Boston. And the patient that he was using needed a tooth extraction. And when he went in for the extraction, the laughing gas hadn't taken its full effect, so the patient screamed and Mr. Wells was booed off stage, which I think is kind of funny. And a man named Humphrey David published a book in 1800 that explained the psychiatric properties of nitrous oxide, but that wasn't commonly accepted until about a decade later. Nitrous oxide does occur naturally in the world. It can be found in our atmosphere, and trace amounts can be found in seawater. However, about 6% of greenhouse gases emitted by us, which cause global warming, are nitrous oxide. Though nitrous oxide can be found in nature, it is largely synthesized. To synthesize nitrous oxide, just take some dry ammonium nitrate and heat that up with an electrical device, up to 270 degrees Celsius. If you go above that, the ammonium nitrate could explode. But the method most primarily used in industry is by taking sulfamic acid with 73% nitric acid and thermal treating that. But there is more danger in this because the fumes are highly toxic and the sulfamic acid can burn skin and membranes. So, it's also soluble in water, sulfuric acid, and ethanol, but I don't think that's important. Now, the actual real-world uses for nitrous oxide include being used for sedation in dentistry, being used as a food additive, for a propellant for whipped cream, being used to enhance engine performance in the racing industry, and being used to treat people withdrawing from alcohol. In the dental industry, it's mostly used to just mildly sedate patients. It's not a complete knockout. It'll just relax you so much that you won't have any fear or anxiety when entering the chair. The effects can be worn off quickly just by breathing pure oxygen, but, you know. In the racing industry, it's used to, as I said earlier, increase engine performance, and it does that by just cooling the air system in the engine, allowing more oxygen to enter the engine, allowing more combustion. However, nitrous oxide is also used by people to feel intoxicated or high. It's taken by inhaling it because it's, gas, it's laughing gas, and it's typically taken in these, cartridges, like the CO2 cartridges you'd put in, a BB gun, but, not CO2. N2O. You'd usually empty that cartridge into a balloon or I guess directly into your mouth and you'd inhale it and it produces, quote, a rapid rush of euphoria and feeling of floating or excitement for a short period of time. As a byproduct of this recreational use, laughing gas has gained some funny old names such as Nangs, Whippet, Hippie Crack, and Buzz Bombs. And the effects of taking laughing gas are as follows. Euphoria, numbness of the body, sedation, giddiness, uncontrollable laughter, uncoordinated movements, blurred vision, confusion, dizziness and or lightheadedness, sweating, feeling unusually tired or weak, or sudden death. Depending on the amount taken, user's size, weight, and health, and whether the person is used to taking it, and whether other drugs are being taken at the same time. Long-term effects as a result of prolonged exposure may result in memory loss, vitamin B12 depletion, ringing or buzzing in the ears, numbness in the hands or feet, limb spasms, potential birth defects, weakened immune system, disruption to reproductive systems, depression, psychological dependence, and psychosis. And the drug itself is a dissociative, which means that it's closely related to ketamine and methoxamine. All in all, I'd say nitrous oxide's impact on our world has been overwhelmingly positive. I mean, it's provided us strides in dentistry and medical application, providing an anesthetic that relaxes patients and doesn't knock them out fully, but instead decreases their anxiety. Well, that's it. Bye.